Good evening and welcome to your English news package with radio and television Tonga for the hour. Making headlines, 32-year-old man dies from a road fatality in Vaini this morning. 90% of government civil servants vulnerable to NCDs, and the 2 Tongans among 10 from the Pacific voicing their concerns on climate change at the COP27. Now for the stories in details. A man has died in a road fatality this morning. Police information states that the man died from a fatal crash at Vaini in the early hours today at around 2 a.m. Police also confirmed that the 32-year-old male driver from Ha'ateiho was heading east on Taufa'aha Road when he lost control of the wheel and the car swerved and hit a tree on the right side in front of the Huatolitoli prison. Unfortunately, the driver died from the impact. Police investigation continues. 90% of government civil servants are vulnerable to NCDs, according to the medical health test conducted by the Ministry of Health to all government ministries every year. This morning, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources held an awareness program to highlight the importance of a healthy lifestyle.
The CEO of the Ministry of Land and Natural Resources, Rosamond Bing, urges the government civil servants to empower ways to promote healthy lifestyle and the need for more ideas to promote the healthy lifestyle of government civil servants. Bing called all the civil servants to focus on exercise because it is clear that in all workplaces, some employees are working outside the workplace and some stay in the office. The concern is to empower them in different physical activities. This includes the importance of promoting healthy diets, cutting off tobacco consumption, and reducing alcohol consumption. From this 90% of those vulnerable to NCDs, most of them are heart disease, second is diabetes, and high blood pressure. Nolini Vakauta from the Public Service Commission said there is a rise of employees who have retired due to hospital issues and had a clear understanding of the increased focus on the work and they forget exercise. Younger employees vulnerable to NCDs is 18 years old and the oldest is 65 years old. During the program, there were discussions amongst the government officials on how to promote a healthy lifestyle. The theme for the program is For the Better. Meanwhile, Fiafia sports are still underway for locals to put more effort into exercise throughout every Friday as part of allowing government employees to stay healthy and active.
Even though it has been almost a year since the Hunga Tonga by eruption and tsunami, there are still families and islands dealing with the impacts of the disasters. The people of Nomuka are still facing water problems as one of their lakes are still polluted from the tsunami earlier this year, and they are concerned as this is one of their main water supplies when there is a water scarcity and droughts. The Secretary-General of the Tonga Red Cross Society, Sione Tamoifolau, says this is one of the issues raised by the people of Nomuka. This lake is located in Nomuka's town and the concern is because of pollution in this area. Tamoifolau says it takes about 2 weeks for the Tonga Red Cross staff to complete work in ensuring the lake is clean and safe for consumption. As such, he urges the people of Nomuka to work together to address the issue. Meanwhile, the Tonga Red Cross Society continues to provide services to families affected from the Hunga by eruption, which includes the building of residences as well as providing financial support. Tamoifolau says they also provided 350 pa'anga each to more than 10 people living with disabilities in Tongatapu. He adds that they are still working to help families whose homes were badly damaged from the January incidents. On COP27 Day of Action for Climate Justice yesterday, 10 Youth Pacific Islander were making their voice heard on the international stage advocating for our islands affected from climate change. Mark Ake tells you more.
Pacific climate warriors from around the world represented the Pacific youth in Glasgow, where thousands of young environment advocates converged for a march to highlight the struggles of countries around the world suffering from climate change and demanding action from world leaders at the climate summit. Out of these 10 youth activists on climate change are 2 Tongan participants, Pupua'aho and Siosiwa Veikune. Over 55,000 people were gathered together to achieve the Paris Agreement commitment of limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius or lower. Amongst these delegates are those carrying the hope and promise of a better future for the Pacific Islands. 10 members of the Pacific Island Students Fighting Climate Change Association. Youth climate change activists are asking the world leaders to do more, take more action and align their governments with the theme of COP27, Together for Implementation. Pupua'aho of Tonga, a correspondent of the radio and television Tonga News, said Pacific youth climate change activists called upon the world leaders to take the threat of climate change seriously, more seriously than they are right now. The future is in their hands, and youth are all going to watch world leaders and the choices they make. Aho added that there is a lot of talk at these meetings, but youth want more results, and they pledge to listen to the voice of the youth and also hear the Pacific Islands because they are facing climate change now. The 10 members of the PISFCC attending COP27 are supporting Pacific delegations. They are being given the opportunity to shadow negotiators to build their experience in the UNFCCC process.
The Ministry of Fisheries has confirmed that there are good results from new ways on deep water fishing. It highlights fishing of squids. Ali Tupo with that story.
The Ministry of Fisheries held a meeting with the National Institute of Water and Atmospheric Research or the NIWA project together with the PMG on Tuesday. The NIWA project is funded by the New Zealand government and is aimed at managing and developing the deep water snapper fisheries. The meeting was chaired and opened by the CEO of the Ministry of Fisheries, Dr. Nuku'alofa. The CEO welcomed the PMG members, representatives from the NIWA, SPC, New Zealand Ministry of Primary Industry or MPI, National Fisheries Council or NFC, and key fisheries stakeholders on the progress of Phase 2 MOU. They discussed the way forward in ensuring the achievement of targeted fisheries of the project, particularly squids and snappers. Speaking to radio and television Tonga News, the CEO for Fisheries, Dr. Nuku'alofa, says the purpose of the meeting was to follow up on agreed actions from the last PMG meeting and look at the way forward also fisheries need to keep to Fisheries Management Act. He adds that there are good outcomes of carrying out deep water fisheries like fishing of squid, although that this is just an old fishing method, but it is new to some people. The idea for another method of fishing added to the fishing of snapper is due to the recent findings that snapper is beginning to decrease in the deep waters. Snapper is one of the excellent source of income for those living by the coastal areas and even generates good income into the economy by being exported overseas. Although squid is said to be popular buy in the market, but it doesn't provide more income like snapper to the government and families of fisheries. Now the borders is open, snappers can be exported to overseas for more income to Tonga's economy and families of fisheries. In this meeting, they also discussed the government assistance program, which focuses primarily on vessels fishing for tuna and snapper, and informed the PMG that 10 deep water snapper vessels are now operating, up from 8 since the previous PMG. They were also updated on recent deep water landings, squid fishing and landing, and other fishery diversification activities. Reporting for Radio and Television Tonga News, I'm Ali Tupo.
Police are concerned with people who are still not complying with the law of keeping the Sabbath day holy while trading on Sunday. Tonga Police have issued warnings to at least 6 people who conducted transactions last Sunday, the 6th of November. Ali Tupo again with that story.
Tonga Police have issued warnings to at least 6 people who conducted transactions last Sunday, the 6th of November. This comes as individuals continue to advertise their products, mainly food items, on Facebook and similar online platforms, as well as administering sale of these products on the Sabbath day. Police reminded 6 of these sellers that they were violating Clause 6 of the Constitution of Tonga and Section 6 of the Order in Public Places Act. Tonga remains unique, where the Sabbath day defined under law is the period from 12 midnight on any Saturday until 12 midnight on Sunday shall be kept holy, and no person shall practice his or her trade or profession or conduct any commercial undertaking except according to law. Tonga Police have issued a statement that this is their final warning, as perpetrators will be held to account. Sabbath day is to kept holy, and only the essential services are allowed to work on Sunday, like Ministry of Health, Tonga Police, Tonga Power Limited, Tonga Water Board, and radio stations, including companies that their services are important for the public. Reporting for Radio and Television Tonga News, I'm Ali Situpo.
And it was a cheerful and warm spirit felt at the Adele Indoor Stadium last night and during the performance of Samoan dances performed by 160 Tongan students of Soliana's Polynesian Dance Academy. The program was attended by Prince Taufa Ahau, Princess Laivalumat Aho, and Princess Nanasipau Eliana as guest of honors upon invitation by Honorable Lavinia Vayongo Vaha'i, who's also a dancer at the Academy. The program was founded by Soliana Fiaki, which has been in operation since 1985. The show was very popular, drawing a full house with a crowd of 8,000, along with thousands more watching the live stream online. The 160 children performed extremely well, garnering praise from the audience as well as on social media. In an interview, Soliana's daughter, Finau, who along with Alexandra Fielea runs the Dance Academy now, she says the children learn so much more than just dance moves at the studio.
It's been such a hard year, especially for our children, and I think sometimes we forget that, the effect that the volcanic eruption had on our children and post-traumatic stress. We wanted to share happiness, and when we dance, it's not only entertaining people, we wanted to share love, and we wanted to be grateful that we're still alive. A lot could have happened this year, but we're very grateful that we're still alive, and that's really what the performance was last night, showing the world our resilience, no matter what happened, the tsunami, the volcanic eruption, being locked down again because of COVID-19. It showed the world that we are still here, we are still happy, and we are still living. That was our message for Fia Fia Night. We honestly still can't believe that we were able to pull off that performance last night. We only had 2 months to prepare the children and only 3 weeks preparation for all of the costuming and making sure that all the dances were perfect. And the kids were amazing. We are still so humbled and grateful to everybody that showed up because we were able to fill up the Adele Indoor Stadium. This is the first time that we've used that venue. We've usually gone to the Upfa'o College Hall, and that's been a little bit too small for us now. But I am so proud of the Academy, of our dance family, that we were able to sell all those tickets and all of the sponsors that were able to support us as well to allow us to actually go to such a huge venue. So we want to thank everybody out there. We are overjoyed. My mother, Suliana, has been in tears all morning long and just watching the live from TBC. And we want to thank you guys as well for coming to make sure that we had that live stream coverage. We've had thousands of views from overseas, and we had thousands of people attend last night.
Haveaki says last night's performance was timely after the match between Samoa and Tonga last week at the quarterfinal. Haveaki also left some words of encouragement to the youth in Tonga.
Fia Fia Night and sharing the dances of the island of Samoa was not a planned thing. It was already a part of our syllabus. And our recital was supposed to be this February, but due to the volcanic eruption and also our first case of COVID-19 and lockdown in the country, we were just able to do that right now. And who would have ever known that we would be doing Fia Fia Night 4 days after our Matema'atonga team lost to the Toa Samoa team. So that wasn't done on purpose, we promise. But we thought that it was our way of showing our support here in the Kingdom of Tonga from Suliana's Dance Academy and all the people of Tonga, to show our love and support to the Toa Samoa team and to let them know that we will support them as well with the same fervor that we always do for our Matema'atonga team. So we wish them the best of luck as they represent the entire South Pacific, and they're also setting history as a country for Samoa to actually make it into the semifinals for the very first time for the Rugby World Cup. So we are so proud to represent Tonga to Samoa, to let them know that we are here and we support you as you represent all of us.
For the thousands who have become part of the Suliana's Dance Academy family, last night's show and every show was a perfect celebration of the life of a woman who has played an important role in their lives, not only in the imparting of dance knowledge, but also important life lessons that have stayed with them through the years, long after they leave the academy. Now, before we part, here's a final look at tonight's top stories. 32-year-old man dies from a road fatality in Vaini this morning. 90% of government civil servants vulnerable to NCDs, and 2 Tongans among 10 from the Pacific voicing their concerns on climate change at the COP27 in Egypt. And that's it for tonight. Thank you for your company. I'm Maria Gutenbell. Have a blessed evening.